Imagine a time when fearless Norsemen set sail across uncharted seas, striking terror into the hearts of those who crossed their path. But the Vikings were more than just ruthless raiders. They were also skilled traders, master shipbuilders, and intrepid explorers who ventured farther than any Europeans had before. In this video, we'll unravel the truth about these legendary warriors and discover how they shaped the world in ways that still resonate today. Stay tuned, because the story of the Vikings is one you won't want to miss. The Viking Age spans from the late 8th century to the early 11th century, a period when Norsemen from present-day Norway, Sweden and Denmark left their mark on history. But who were the Vikings? Contrary to the popular image of wild, horned, helmeted warriors, the Vikings were a complex society of farmers, traders, and yes, sometimes raiders. Their reputation as fearsome warriors stems from their brutal raids on monasteries and towns across Europe, but there's much more to their story. The Vikings were deeply rooted in their Norse pagan beliefs, worshipping gods like Odin, Thor, and Freyja. Their society was organized into a network of chieftains and kings, and while they were fierce in battle, they also had a rich culture with a strong oral tradition of storytelling, which gave us the sagas and eddas that still captivate us today. The Viking Age is often said to have begun in 793 AD with the infamous raid on the Lindisfarne monastery in England. This attack shocked the Christian world and marked the start of Viking raids that would continue for centuries. The Vikings targeted wealthy monasteries, which were often poorly defended, making them easy pickings for these seafaring warriors. But why did the Vikings raid? While there's no single answer, it's likely a combination of factors. Scandinavian society was facing population pressures, and the lure of wealth abroad was hard to resist. Additionally, the development of the longship, an engineering marvel that allowed the Vikings to navigate both open seas and shallow rivers, made these raids possible. However, the Vikings weren't just about raiding and pillaging. They were also skilled traders who established extensive trade networks that stretched from the North Atlantic to the Middle East. Viking traders brought goods like furs, amber and slaves from the north, and in return, they acquired silver, silk, and spices from distant lands. The city of York in England and Dublin in Ireland became important Viking trading centers, while in the east, they traded along the rivers of Russia, even reaching the Byzantine Empire and the Islamic caliphates. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Viking Age was their exploration. The Vikings were among the first Europeans to set foot in North America, almost 500 years before Christopher Columbus. Led by Leif Erikson, Norse explorers established a settlement at Vinland, located in what is now Newfoundland, Canada. Although this settlement was short-lived, it's a testament to the Vikings' seafaring skills and adventurous spirit. As the Vikings continued to explore and raid, they also began to settle in new territories. In England, the Danelaw was established, a large region of the country under Viking control. In France, the Viking leader Rollo was granted land by the King of France, leading to the establishment of Normandy, a region named after the Norsemen. In Iceland, the Vikings created a society that flourished independently, preserving their language and customs. Icelandic sagas, written down centuries later, provide us with a vivid picture of Viking life and the values they held dear. Meanwhile, in Greenland, the Vikings established settlements that survived for centuries despite the harsh conditions. The legacy of the Vikings is still visible today in the languages, place names, and cultures of the regions they influenced. From the English language, which contains many Old Norse words, to the legal systems in Scandinavian countries, the impact of the Viking Age is undeniable. The Viking Age began to wind down in the 11th century as European kingdoms became better organized and capable of defending against Viking raids. The spread of Christianity also played a role, as Viking leaders like Harald Bluetooth of Denmark and Olaf Tryggvason of Norway converted to the new faith, bringing their people with them. By 1066, the year of the Norman conquest of England, the Viking Age was effectively over. The last great Viking king, Harald Hardrada, died at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, marking the end of an era. However, the spirit of the Vikings lived on, not only in the places they settled but also in the cultural and genetic legacy they left behind. And that concludes our journey through the Viking Age, a time of fierce warriors, daring explorers, and far-reaching traders. The Vikings were more than just the raiders of popular imagination. They were a people who shaped the course of history in ways that are still felt today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.